back to InHerSelf podcast,
where we talk about faith, family, finance, and friendship.
So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on all social media platforms.
And make sure to turn your notifications on to be notified whenever we post new content.
Welcome back.
Hey, y'all. We was just saying, what episode is this?
30.
Oh, my gosh.
30 consistent episodes.
I'm so proud of us.
I am too.
30?
I am too. Consistency.
Oh, my gosh.
Didn't give up.
Come on. And that's what we're talking about.
And that's what we're talking about.
Didn't give up.
Staying in position.
Yes. We want to welcome, for those of you who don't know, we have our Patreon members, our inner circle that's in the building with us virtually, who's been a part of this process. They're actually streaming live right now. So if you want to be in the room with us, y'all go to our Patreon page and subscribe.
And subscribe monthly.
And they get a free shirt too.
Oh, yes, you do.
Because I'm about to get mine.
We are so excited to officially announce that we have launched our Patreon. By signing up, you will become a member of our InHerCircle community.
You'll receive exclusive access to our content that is only available to our Patreons, such as behind the scenes, live discussions, and Discord. But most importantly, first dibs on new merch.
To register, visit our link tree in the bio or the description below.
See you at the circle.
I'm gonna keep my business to myself anyway.
No, tell the people.
My baby didn't go through no. I ran into some hardship.
Right.
And,
pay that subscription.
Stumbled upon, so I got to do it again so I can get my shirt.
Oh,
but
okay.
I promise you I'm a part of the community.
Okay.
My name in the caption.
It's in the caption?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Heaven and Nisha.
We'll keep that. We'll keep that. But it's been a great week. How about you?
Yeah. Good week. No complaints. Well, I could complain, but I always say it's really not going to do nothing for you. So you might as well just try to be positive.
I know that's not try to be. Just be.
As much as you can.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like it wasn't bad. It was busy. I'll say that. Productive, but some hurdles that was, popping up and coming up, and it wanted me to be like, all right, am I really built for it tough? Because I don't really want to do this. So I was reminded again to keep going.
Yeah. But I was looking at, because we have a list of things that we want to discuss. It could be now or 5 years from now. We just have a list of ideas. And you put on there, stay in position. I said, okay, I'm not going to ask her that right now. But just before we started recording, I said, what does that mean to you? Like, why did you bring that up?
And so, honestly, I forgot that I even put it in there. I think I was supposed to be putting it in my notes. And what I ended up doing was putting it on the notes of our shared podcast topics. And so when you asked me, I was like, I'll put it in that one because I didn't even mean to do that. So, but I'll share the reason why I did it was because there was some hurdles that I was dealing with. Again, not anything that was bad. I have learned, I'm just give some, expound a little bit on it. So I have learned that a lot of the things that I prayed for, I didn't understand the process to get there. And so I had to take a step back and actually look at the things that I have been praying for. Now I understand I'm deep, knee deep, waist deep in the process of receiving those blessings. And it almost appeared to be a burden. And it's not, right? It's just, it comes with the territory of what you're asking for, right? And so before I acknowledged that, it was hard. And I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to do this. And I wanted to remove myself from being in position to receive.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, all the above. And the Lord was reminding me to stay in position to receive. And so I was leaving myself a note, so I thought, and I wasn't. It was in the
You left us a note.
I left us a note to stay in position
and
not move. And that is crazy, which led to me looking up statistics about it. And you were not surprised by this, but I was completely surprised. 95% of people give up on their dreams.
That is just so not far-fetched to me. I feel like we live in a world where when things get tough, forget about it. When things get rough, I'll just don't worry about it. It's causing too much emotional strain, financial strain, or whatever it looks like for them. So it's like, I'm not going to worry about it. You don't do that.
Mm-mm.
That's why you like,
What?
No, yeah,
That's so much.
you're somebody that just doesn't do it. You're somebody that says, okay, well, I didn't pass this test, I'm gonna take it again. I guess I understand both sides because I am the one, used to be the one to say, okay, it didn't work out, don't worry about it.
It goes against everything that I am, meaning like my relationship with God and the Bible that I read says everything opposite of giving up. That's why I'm like, what are you talking about? That 95%, only 5% of people are achieving. That is crazy. I feel bad for them.
I honestly, genuinely do too, because it just gets to a point where we don't believe in ourselves.
No, you can't.
No, but then we look up to these people that made it. But every time they do an interview, they say, well, how did you get where you was? I didn't give up. And then we inspired. We moving forward. I'm writing my journal. And then 2 weeks later, when another hurdle appears, don't worry about it. It's just the cycle. Or I didn't accomplish it in my lifetime, so I'm going to put that burden on my child.
And living vicariously through your children is why these children be like, all right, so when I'm grown, I'm gonna let you do you and I'm gonna do me because you was in my ear. You not pushing me to achieve my dreams. You pushing me to achieve your dreams.
Yeah.
And that ain't fair to do.
It can look both ways. The way you said it, or I don't know how to live life without my mom telling me what to do. If she gone tomorrow, or if our relationship was like, we're not talking to each other, where would I be? Because I'm so used to do it like this, do it like that. No, if I was you, I would do it this way. No, if I had the chance. We always hear that parents always say, if I had the chance, I would do it this way. Or if I had a chance, I would do it that way. There's nothing wrong with guiding. But actually wanting somebody to do physically what you thought that you were supposed to do, that's a burden.
I'm just stuck on the fact that I was expecting this percentage to be like 50, 55.
Why?
Because 95%, do you know that that's a lot of people that's saying I'm done. Like I'm just gonna stop. What do you do? Like you give up and then what? Like that's what my mentality is. I give up and then what?
Work a 9 to 5.
What?
What?
And continue. No, ma'am.
Because it looks simple. Figuring out your dreams is not easy because your road is not the same as everybody else's.
But they don't see my dreams won't leave me alone.
Right.
Like I can't like not think about them. Like I can't when I want to be regular.
Because you're not regular.
I can't do that. I can't do that. It's a nonstop. It's a driven. I got to. It's calling me. My calling is calling me, and so I got to do what I got to do to see what I saw, to see what I see. Like I can't not. And then I got little ones watching me,
right,
saying. And I'm not going to be the one that say, oh, well, how can I tell you that you can make it? And I ain't trying to make
I think because it's easier said than done.
Oh, no.
Honestly, not take you out of it. in the most respectful way possible, because you don't think like regular people think. So take you out of it. I can say, you can do this. You're great. You're going to accomplish it all. I'm not physically doing the work.
But I don't believe you.
You don't.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
But a lot of people don't move unless they hear somebody say, do it.
But I'm talking about as a child, as someone who is in a lower position of the person who is needing the encouragement. You're telling me that I can do it, but you didn't. I don't believe you because you didn't do it. How you gonna tell me I can make it and you didn't? You can't tell me I can make it out and you still in the hood.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, come on. Like,
you're right.
Those dots don't equate to me. That's why I have a hard time listening to people who gonna tell me how to do something or get where I'm trying to get to, and you ain't never got there.
Yeah. So you have to have some level of success.
Something.
Yeah.
Because then you have a roadmap and a basis in which I can apply some principles that you use that were successful.
But I can't follow your map because it's going to lead me right back to where you sitting at.
It ain't going to leave me nowhere on my couch because we're talking about it right now. Outside of things that you maybe did wrong, I can appreciate those topics. You know, your testimony of this is what I wish I would have done and I didn't. Then respectfully. But you're not going to tell nobody how you can make it and you didn't. That's your assumption and your opinion. That's not a fact.
Yeah.
Which is why they encourage people, when you are in a field, whether it's nursing, whether it's comedy, whether it's acting or whatever it may be, to find someone who is already doing what you want to do, because they're living the dream or the career in which you desire. But I would be crazy to want to be a multi-billion-dollar real estate firm, and I'm going to talk to somebody who is the manager at Target.
Sure. No, I absolutely agree and understand that, because I think for me, what for me and what a lot of other people do is they see the dream, it looks too big to obtain, so you just end up doing something that is mediocre. And I'm not calling nursing mediocre, but that's what it was going on in my head. I said acting is too far-fetched.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 3 people that really make it. And then when you start adding black in there, forget it. But nursing, a lot of people do it. So it seems easier to grab and to reach. But then I'm sitting at home, I said, when I close my eyes, I'm not thinking about nursing.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm walking around and somebody asks me, what do you want to do? I'm not thinking about nursing. So that's why I hear you when you say it just won't get off of you.
Mm-mm. It won't let me rest.
No.
It won't let me. It's like I eat, sleep, dream. It like literally, there's a couple things that I'm like head over heels for. Okay. The first thing is definitely, I love music all day long. If I can travel this world and do worship music every day, I would. Mm-hmm. Like that's a place that I live in. Number 2 is real estate. I can't describe the feeling when I actually found out what it actually was. I didn't know what a real estate agent was when I was 13, 14, 15. I didn't find out that till I was helping my mom.
Right.
Them looking for a church or whatever. And I'm like, it's called a real estate agent. Oh, it's a real estate broker. Oh, this is how that was not a life that I was exposed to. But when I said, oh, this is how you guys move ponds. This is how you create wealth. Oh, this is how, and more than just on a financial aspect, the first time I sold a house to a family and it was their first, I would never forget that experience ever in my life. Like, you will never forget your first house, but I will forever be a part of your family.
Yeah.
That means the world to me. And so I don't allow my family members to settle for something because you don't think you can afford it.
But tell the story about how you even became a realtor, because that'll help people out, because it was not easy.
No.
Even becoming a broker. You could have said, I'm done.
That's why I don't understand. So I got in real estate originally because my mom was pastor and co-pastor of a church, and God rest her soul, love of the life. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what I mean? But so they were looking for a property. We were going around. Back then, you could not see, and there was no Zillow and realtor.com. You literally had to reach out to a realtor, call them, hope they answer the phone, and they don't flake on you to come open up these properties, because outside of that, there was no key boxes and all of that stuff where you can go on your own tours. So we were calling, we were getting, stood up. Sometimes they would answer, sometimes they wouldn't. It was just a back and forth situation. And I started to research myself, looking up properties and looking up the acreages and the down payments, all this stuff, just educating myself on my own. And so the more I started getting, involved with it, I knew I started knowing as much or, as the realtor did. I'm asking the right questions, and they like, well, how you know to answer or ask that question? And so I was just helping. So my mom said one day, why you bootlegging? And I said, what you talking about? Mm-hmm. And she was like, you're bootlegging. Why won't you just invest in you? You clearly love this. Why won't you go to real estate school? And honestly, back then, parent of 2, divorced, I don't have the capacity to do that. And she said, I'm going to pay for you to go. And not only she paid for me, but I believe they paid for my best friend at the time to go as well. Mm-hmm. And so, we did. I went to school, Bob Holt School of Realty, shout out to them. And I ended up taking the course, and I got to the point where I was almost finished. I think I had one more exam to take. It was like a month, because it's like 16 weeks, something like that. It's not a long process, but nevertheless, we got to the end, and my mom passed away, bruh, while I was in school.
Hurdle, take note.
Literally. And I was like, what just she is the reason why I'm even here to do this. And what you mean she gone? Like, it just didn't add up. So again, I stepped back, did the bereavement process, really didn't, but we'll talk about it in another podcast. Went through the whole process or whatnot. And my friend at the time was like, you ain't giving up. We done came too far. You gon' finish this. I was like, bro, every time I start school, not just this, anytime I started school, something would happen that would prevent me or try to finish. And so it was like, see, I knew it. Here we go. It's always, but this was a blow, bro. Like, it's deeper than not just something happened. My mom passed.
Right.
Like, you're crazy.
Your motivation, so to speak.
Literally, my reason for doing this is gone. And so I said, okay. She was like, no, I'm going to call the school. I'm going to tell them what happened and we're going to see. So she did. They said, usually we don't ever do this. It just, you have to pay for it and start back over. But because the situation will allow you to come back to one class, you take this test and you pass. If you don't, you got to start all over again. So now I'm under pressure where I got to sit in this classroom that my last memory is my mom is no longer here. And I got to fight through all that to pass this 80 question, 100 question test. And I only get one shot. I get one shot or I got to take this whole thing all over again. I don't even really want to do it right now for real because it's like, I wasn't expecting this. And so I did. We went, we studied, got in class, passed. So now they give you a certain amount of time to actually pass your state because you it's levels to it. So you got to take the class, you pass the class, that's your ticket to go take your state. Your state, you got to get at least, I think, a 70 to 80% to even get it. So at that point, we took another break because it was just a lot of, moving pieces, trying to make sure that my mom's affairs was all taken care of and whatnot. I go back 3 months later to attempt to take this state. I fail. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, I don't only just fail, but I failed by like 3 points. I go back again. I fail again. I go back study. We drive all the way to Orlando to get the study course, the exam, trying to figure out, whatnot. The third time, my friend passes. I fail again.
My Lord.
3 times. I'm like, is this for me? Should I be doing this? Like, I don't even know. Like, now I'm defeated. I'm like, man, forget it. I ain't even finna. But I couldn't sleep. It wouldn't let me go. You're gonna do this. You can do this. And something about me, I ain't know. I'm
gonna beat myself.
Listen,
yeah,
you're not finna just punk me like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not going out like that. So I went back. I studied again. I'm studying. I'm talking about up all night. I'm studying, highlighting, studying. I go back 4th time. I fail again.
Jesus,
I want to cry talking about it right now because I remember those feelings of feeling like, yo, what's going on? Like, I know what I saw, but my reason isn't here. And is this confirmation that I shouldn't be doing this?
Mm-hmm. That's immediately where we go. That's immediately where we go.
Is this my sign that I shouldn't be? Now, mind you, I had already spoke in this class before my mom passed. I said, ooh, I found out what a broker was. The broker is the person who write the check. I said, I'm supposed to be a broker. I had already set my mind to it. I can't even be the agent.
How am I be a broker?
I'm gonna be a broker.
Yes. 4
times. And I kept hearing, do it again. Do it again. Don't give up. Do it again. Somebody in there, they had took like 18 times. I promise you, I mean, back to back. And they were still trying. That 5th time, I studied. And every time I failed, I was so confident that I had passed it. I was real confident. So when they said a big fail, I said, wait a minute. This time I prayed. I said, Lord, bring all the knowledge back to my remembrance. Bring it back to me. Give me peace. If this is for me, I'm not giving up because I know what you showed me. I know I'll be placed in my heart. There's something in this for me. I went back that 5th time. I was calm. It was a peace over me. I went in there. I took my time. And I said, I gave him my best. I walked out of there. She smiled. She said, you did it. 5 tries.
5.
And I passed.
Now, hearing the story, a regular person after they would have tried it maybe a second time. After the 2nd time, I'm not doing this anymore. This is too much emotional stress. My ego won't let me do anymore.
Embarrassment.
Come on. And so I'll just go ahead and get a 9 to 5. And I'm not knocking people that get a 9 to 5. But if you know that there's more for you, you're settling. Mm-hmm. And I'm not backing down from that. You go to a 9 to 5 and you say, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be content in it. What I was telling you earlier is you being content in your 9 to 5, you working in somebody else's dream.
because what you're working for, this is their dream, and they're hiring you, and that's a part of their dream. So you're helping their dream come alive, and you got this thing bottled beside you, but you're scared of what people are going to say. For me, it's like, you're supposed to be smart. How you be booking, you can't pass. And I had to silence that. I was doing that for me. You're not going to put, you ain't giving up.
No.
And my thing is, my mom had invested money for me to go, and I'm stopping because what? Because what? What was my reasoning? I wanted it better than me saying, oh, well, oh my gosh, I can never tell. And I tell people all the time, I did not pass the first time. I encourage other realtors who are trying or pursuing to be in real estate. If you want to do it, it was not a test where you could like trick it and be like, okay, well, let me do. No, either you know it or you don't.
It's just so many things that we wait in line for to make sure that we get it. We'll wait. When we had, what is it, the hurricane or something like that, we'll wait in a line for food stamps.
Oh, yeah.
I get my stimulus. Oh, I didn't get it. Let me call them. Like, we are determined to
3 hour
do
line.
everything else, but to make sure that we good, but to make sure that our dreams, we will do anything. We will inconvenience everybody in the household to get something we don't need. But your dreams, it look too hard, so don't worry about it.
You know why? We stand on in line and on the phone. It's because somebody told us that they were successful and we believe them. Because if it happened for you and I see other people, then clearly they gotta do it for me. So you believe enough to do it. So if you are failing, it's because you don't believe
You can do it.
Come on. You stop and you say, I'm not going to waste any more time because I don't believe that I can do it.
It's a contradiction though. Because you know that this food stamps at the end of that line.
Yep.
You don't care how long it takes to get there. You know that if you continue to take the test, there is a point that you will pass. But because you see the fail, don't worry about it.
Or it could be reverse psychology too, because when I met somebody who said they had been taking it for 18 times, I said, I know you a lie.
Not doing that. I'm not doing that, baby. You had 18 times to waste?
18 times.
Yeah, that's how they look at it.
And you got to pay every time you take this. So it's not free.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. Then I wait 2 years, 2 or 3 years. I think it was about 2 to 4 years. And I said, okay, now is the time that I can pursue my brokers. I didn't pass the first time.
Or the second.
Or the third.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't.
Because it wasn't information that was readily we do right now. So the test is a keep you out of jail test. Mm-hmm. But the actual work is not what's really on the test, not everything. So you either, it was just like, okay, you really got to study for real. But I didn't stop. I sat in this room and took it and failed it. This was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, are you serious?
But I think that you don't understand your drive to continue to push the people around you. We don't have no choice.
Yeah.
Granted, a part of me is like, oh, I'm gonna keep trying. Then the other me is like, no, I'm not. But being around you is like, baby, you don't have a choice.
Get up.
And if you don't get up, I'm gonna drag you to your destination, and your feet better start working by the time we get there.
Get up. It won't let me. I can't. But because I know Enrique, he was like, you're an agitator. And I think I said this to my producer one time, I'm an agitator, but not in a negative way. Meaning, like when we wash clothes, there's an agitator in the middle that scrubs to get the dirt off of the clothes. That's what makes it clean. My agitation is, I know God has called me to more. So anyone that I'm assigned to, I'm attached to, clearly there's a calling on your life. And I'm going to be on your case until you get, because if you not, then birds of a feather flock together. If you ain't do nothing, then that means, oh, the devil is a liar. You got to go.
But catch the comma. You gotta want to do it for yourself at some point.
Yeah.
It is not your job as anybody's friend to keep saying, you could do it, you could do it, you could do it. But you say, no, I can't. I'm not going to say it 20 times.
And I'm not.
Maybe 19. But on that 20, you on your own, baby.
I'm going to say you're right.
I believe in you. Right. But then, no. Once you do that, it's, oh, so I can't do it?
No.
You gotta believe in you more than somebody else. You got to. But we don't. And so that's why we watch TV and we see all these famous people making all this money. We'll buy their products. We'll put money in their pocket. But when it's time to start the business, we won't do it.
One thing for me too, I live around confirmation. I told you there was a vision, a dream that I had about, it was called Quick Click, right? About before we started doing, years before people started doing delivery and that stuff. And when I saw it was manifested 5 years later, I said, never again will I sleep on something I know God showed me, because it's going to manifest, but is it going to manifest through you?
Yeah.
Whatever dream God has given you, whatever that thing, it is going to come to pass because the earth needs it. The question is it going to pass through your hands?
Yeah.
Are you going to be the one to make it manifest in this earthly realm?
I mean, I can even talk about the podcast, how we started and we had no idea what it was supposed to look like, how we were going to get the followers, how we were going to get the production. We had our phone, we had a ring light, and we said, let's do it. But the thing was, it was obedience. The Lord said 5 years is drastic. 2 years later, there will be an Isaac, and there will be production help, and there will be a Heaven, you know how to market, and there will be a Niger, you know how to deal with the finances. But if you don't start now, you're never going to get to the promise.
Let me tell you something. A piece of the promise lived in another state. Oh my, I'm finna go in tongues.
Jesus.
Let me tell you something. We so worried about how he gonna do it. A piece of this puzzle didn't even live in Florida.
You think you the only one that the Lord talking to?
Hello, somebody.
If he wasn't obedient,
come on. It takes multiple. People are what makes the vision come to pass. And so out of your obedience, somebody else listening too. Out of your disobedience, when they say, God, I thought you told me. I did. But the other piece of the puzzle ain't moving. But understand, it won't stop the vision.
it will not.
It just won't flow through you.
Yep. And
So
I'll be here
what?
looking good. Camera quality on 1,000.
Come on.
Listen to me. We live on Patreon.
Hey, Patreon.
God is faithful because of our obedience and our response.
To stay in position. Do
it.
not move out of position. Yes, the podcast was paused, but it was not denied. Yeah, we had 12 followers, nobody on TikTok, nobody on YouTube. We just checked. We was at like 560. It felt like overnight, and it's still growing. And we're doing the same thing, being faithful. The number one thing that our producer said was consistency.
And when I tell you that's in every area of your life, if you're not consistent, don't expect consistency. Like, it just doesn't add up. 1 + 1 will forever be 2.
All the time.
It don't matter how many different ways you put it. That's just what it's going to be. Consistency and staying in position. Bottom line.
I am just, listen, I don't know who, I'm going to say it's for me. Because every single time that we have these conversations are prophetic. They touch lives because they're touching our lives. This is not something that we're living this. That was the first thing you said when we started this podcast was we desire to go on this journey with you. We are not already millionaires, but we on our way. We're not already serial entrepreneurs whose businesses, everything, but we're on our way. And whatever God has put in your belly and that fire you feel right now, take it and run with it. Find your tribe. And I'm not saying seeking on Instagram. They will be attracted to, become the person you want to attract. You want to get quality people, be a quality person. You want to get a whole bunch of followers, then how about you try following someone worth following?
That's good.
Like you cannot get what you're not giving. We're not here to combat and go back and forth. We're here to live the best life that God has given us to expand the kingdom of heaven. And I ain't talking about yours.
I didn't even think you was. I mean,
whatever.
You are. But that was a really good episode.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that.
Me too.
It'd be like, I know y'all here, but I needed that.
Me too.
But as always, we love y'all. But in herself, she is loved.
In herself, she is beautiful.
In herself, she is strong. See you next week.
See y'all next week. Hey, Patreon.